Welcome to Watkins, Glen for Week 5, Season 3 action of the Pro Mazda Championship. All coverage today, of course, is on your beloved RaceSpotTV, streaming live on the iRacing Esports Network. Qualifying is going to come up just after the ad break, so don't leave us. We'll see you shortly.
So what are you afraid of? Those feelings are made up. For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up.
4 more kilometers. Oh, there we go! They touch!
This time, like the last time, I'm moving so fast, I'm ready to ride.
Frankie! Down to the inside of Hookie's off! Passenger throws the block, and he will keep him behind him.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down. Hand over my crown. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town. I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Turning the track up. I'll never go back down. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town. I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Here we are once again. You never want to miss an event like this. The electrifying talent born within Pro Mazda, as we welcome you to Watkins, Glen, located in the state of New York in the United States of America, which hosts Week 5 action for Season 3 2018 of the Pro Mazda Championship. All coverage today, of course, is on RaceSpotTV, streaming live on iRacing Live around the 5.4 kilometer, 3.4 mile clockwise layout of Watkins, Glen. We are using the boot course layout here today. 11 turns, of course, 4 of those to the left, 7 to the right, 16 laps of racing action. A very long pit lane, of course. You'll see a very long pit lane lost time today, but the drivers don't need to make a pit stop unless there'll be damage. Maximum fuel of 18 liters will be enough to complete the end of the race. 43 meters of elevation change across this Hall of Fame worthy circuit with beautiful sunny skies. A little bit of clouds out there as well. Winds only a few miles per hour, of course, too. So these are perfect conditions for motor racing here today. We are currently in qualifying and ready to get racing action going in just a few minutes' time. Jonathan Simon in the commentary booth, of course, all on my own, alongside Hugo Luis in production. Of course, Isfan Bello, Andreas Werner, Simon Grossman, Nick Thiessen. Thanks to them for all their hard work behind the scenes. You can see the live timing, your cameras, graphics, everything else today. They do a wonderful, splendid job, of course. Daniel Fletcher leads the championship standings ahead of Thomas Jordan. So the standings have shuffled a little bit since our last broadcast of Brands Hatch a couple of weeks ago there. Great championship so far by Stefan Roskin and Jean-Michel Noyon. Very impressed by Anne Medema as well. Top 5 currently in the championship, but plenty of rounds to go. We're not even halfway through Season 3 for 2018. This race today may not be the highest strength of field for the week, but it will be one valuable for points. You can see the qualifying times on the left-hand side of the screen. Daniel Fletcher currently on top, a 1 minute 42.149, perfect to sustain his championship charge. So he's currently in the pit lane at the moment, Daniel Fletcher. Other drivers out there, Samuel Clark is one who's currently in P2. And still has laps remaining, of course, in qualifying. This session, 2 maximum laps. Samuel Clark has only set 1. This will be his last time for the session. Comes across the line. Oh, he backs off. So that lap was poor already to begin with. Behind him, Thomas Jordan in P3. Second in the championship coming into this round. He's in that #1 Pro Mazda. Riding on board with him. Nice work through turn 8, the boot. Now here's turn number 9. Through the left-hander. Just want to open up the exit as much as you can. Here we go through the final couple of corners. Turn 10. Extreme amounts of camber to help ease the car in. And then 11, the exact same thing. Don't want to clip the curb too early on the inside. Beautiful lap by Thomas Jordan. And this will be his last time of qualifying. Will it improve him to the front row? Timing screen updates. Nope. 1 minute 42.395. He already completed actually a couple of laps, so nothing there for Thomas Jordan, of course. Here we ride on board. This is the driver. We don't ride on board, sorry. We're watching David Endelo. He hasn't set a lap, though. This should be his first lap, unless this is an out lap. Let's have a look here. Comes across the line. 1 minute 43.1. So it was indeed his first lap of the session. I don't think he'll be able to complete his second lap in time. There's 30 seconds left in this session. And yeah, he pulls off to the side of the racetrack. So anybody starting a lap now, you have to complete your time before that timer reaches the 0 second mark. You cannot complete a lap after that. Andrew Bajoso, 1 minute 49. Not the best qualifying time, of course, but just setting some good, consistent laps. Still starts ahead of a couple other drivers. So that's it. Qualifying's done. Let's have a look at the grid now for the race coming up here. 16 laps of racing action from Watkins Glen. Daniel Fletcher shares the front row from Samuel Clark. Two very speedy drivers on the front row. So this could be a very terrific race, of course. Thomas Jordan, Everett Paddock on that second row. Two hard charging favorites. Then we have Joshua Jabunowski and Wayne Whiting on that third row. Rounding out the top 10, it would be David Endelope, Aurelian Jim Lewitz, Cobus Marie, Russ Addy. Rest of the grid will be on your screen, of course, cycling through the race here. Watch the run down to turn 1. It's not the longest run down to turn 1, but it is still pretty significant. 340 meters, and then the run all the way down to the inner loop and the carousel at turn 5. That's where things could get shady here in the race. Drivers still taking to the grid, just waiting for a few more to arrive, of course, as well. So the keys today is with no pit stop. If you lose the draft, you're going to be in extreme trouble. We're waiting for the lights to illuminate. Need to maintain your packs. It's like an oval race around a road course. That's what it's like here. And with open wheel cars, the draft ever important. Daniel Fletcher on the right, on the left-hand side of the screen. Samuel Clark on the right in that TNT racing car. Who will lead into turn 1? Still waiting for Jim Day to take to the grid. Otherwise, this race is going to begin sometime soon. Come on, boys. Ryan Moore as well. Can you please get to the grid? Let's go. So I think this timer will tick now. In a few seconds time, the race will start. We've reached the 2-minute mark of the grid. Here we go now. Grid about to take place. Engines rev, lights illuminate. Here we go. 16 laps of racing. And we go green at Watkins Glen. Straightforward start from the top 4. It looks like Samuel Clark should maintain second ahead of Thomas Jordan. Jordan defends third from Everett Paddock, and right behind as well, Joshua Jabunowski as well in a 5th position. No changes in your top 5. Wayne Whiting, though, he's the driver who's dropped a couple of positions. Now he's down to 7th. David Endelope with a rapid start, of course. Here they head to the inner loop for the first time, of course. Leaders seem unscathed. Everett Paddock seems close. Will he pull off a move in the inner loop? It's going to be ever optimistic. No, he doesn't. Down the back of the order, though. Drivers all forming up into formation. Here they go to the carousel for the first time at turn 5. You don't want to lose the draft even at this early stage in the race. Daniel Fletcher's blistered himself away. Here we ride on board with David Endelope. Oh, he's off the racetrack. Oh, something's gone wrong for David Endelope. He's into the wall too. Oh, something's gone wrong, and now he's picked it up. So that was odd. Was it a technical issue, or was it just a lock up of the brakes? There's certainly damage to that front wing there. So drama on the first lap for David Endelope. A very uneventful crash. It's like he forgot there was a corner there. Here we ride on board with him. And he just... What's happened here? He brakes. And he straightened up the wheel. I feel like he knew he was going to go off. But he braked way too late. So he just wanted to straighten the car up and and minimize the damage. Just hurt the front wing, don't hurt any of the suspension to the side. So, oh God, the man who made one of the best starts in the field is now all the way down the order. Jim Day didn't take to the start of the race, so he's already out of the event. Ryan Moore's fallen down as well. He had dramas on the first lap, but here we look at a battle between Paddock and Jabinowski. Jabinowski is close. Has the draft up ahead as well. Thomas Jordan, Samuel Clark battle. You can see riding on board. Thomas Jordan's on the right side. Jabinowski, though, can he pull off the move? Oh, around the outside. That is breathtaking. So he doesn't pull off the move, but Thomas Jordan is into the second place. And we know how quick Thomas Jordan is. If anyone's going to catch Daniel Fletcher, Thomas Jordan could be the man here today to achieve that. Rest of the cars filing through. Love the cyan livery of Andrew Pajoso back there, number 16. Now through turn 7, the toe, uphill, plant the traction. Is Andrew Pajoso there, just quite easy and seamless, obviously. Russ Addy, though, ahead, having a look in P9, going for Cobus Marie, no move. Almost pulled off something into turn 8 into the boot. Now in a 9, you can see the uphill nature of some of these corners. The boot is turn 8. It is downhill braking zone, a lot of camber, and then you get all these corners where you can just throw the car in. The camber helps ease the car into the corner, and that's why this circuit is so interesting to set up the car around. Here's Rassadi on board. I think he can get past Cobus Marie. He's looked quicker than him the first couple of laps here, but he just hasn't been able to slot himself up in the track position. No, not even close. Cobus Marie way more confident on the brakes, but the exit here is for Russ Addy. He should be able to pull off the move. Whoa, that's too close. Goodness gracious. Oh, man. Russ Addy, thank you for being rational for a second there. And now he still finds himself in P9, back behind them. Andrew Pajoso passed by Matthew Vincenti. An easy move right there from Matthew Vincenti, but oh, look at this. Andrew Pajoso is extremely close. Look at the switchback. Great racecraft. Great driving. Andrew Pajoso reclaims that P10 position. He's still in the top 10. Through turn 9. That's right, he's through turn 6. What am I saying? Now through turn 7, the toe. This is, again, you can see the uphill traction zone here. That camera angle doesn't do any justice there. It's way more uphill than usual. Oh, he's having a look here. Matthew Vincenti into the downhill braking zone of turn 8. Looking at this wonderful front wing cam. The Frenchman has plenty of time remaining in this race, but you don't just want to make up one position. You want to climb your way up into the top 5, onto the podium, onto victories. Vincenti needs to get his line right into this corner. Oh, I think Andrew Pajoso maybe pushed too wide. No, he didn't. Great line, Andrew Pajoso. So, once again, Cobus Marie made his way past Russ Addy, and then Russ Addy made his way back. So there was a position swap last lap, and then back again to their original spots. Back to the lead load. Daniel Fletcher still leads by 0.3 of a second. Have a look at this battle for P4. Joshua Jablinowski there. Closer and closer. It's that outside line into the inner course, inner loop, that can really hamper your chances of making an overtake. Joshua Jablinowski looks a lot quicker here than Everett Paddock. Clips the apex with poise through that corner. Using the brake marker there. See the Zippo boards to the right hand side. Drivers will use those brake mark unless they see someone quite attractive in the stand that's sitting in the same spot. And I go, hey, I'm going to brake whenever I see them. And, oh, look at the front. Driver off. Is that a leader? It's Daniel Fletcher. The leader's off. Daniel Fletcher's off into the gravel trap. Oh, he's out of the event. He can't get out of there. Daniel Fletcher in the lead. Here he is, hounded by Thomas Jordan. And just straight up an engine issue for Daniel Fletcher. Was that over aggressive downshift? Let's have a look. Oh, goodness. That engine just blew. I think he over aggressively downshifted. So Daniel Fletcher out of the event. Engine troubles. Thomas Jordan back into the lead. And now Thomas Jordan has a shot to get a broadcasted win, and it'll be ever important. This battle now with Joshua Jablonowski and Everett Paddock up in front is now a battle for the final podium position. Jablonowski trying to do the impossible and make the outside line work into the inner loop. Not even close. Straight pass into P3 for Joshua Jablonowski. So Everett Paddock now down a position. The American at his home track. Obviously wants to impress a little bit better for the virtual fans. This is one of my favorite racing circuits in the world. Watkins Glen. This is just beautiful. This is incredible. You could slot any type of motor racing series here and be incredible. And as you can see here today with Pro Mazda. Well, it's the opposite with Pro Mazda. You put Pro Mazda anywhere, it's still incredible. You know, it goes either way. That's why this is such a good track car combination. The top three now. So it'll be Thomas Jordan at the end of lap 5 this time around. Samuel Clark in second. Joshua Jablonowski, Everett Paddock fourth. Third and fourth twice. Wayne Whiting fifth. Aurelian Jimlewitz in sixth. Here we're watching that battle between Whiting and Jimlewitz. You can see on screen as well. Wayne Whiting, the Australian. A good time to race if you're an Australian. 12 o'clock noon. And something we want to support around the world is we need time slots that support the whole world, but there's always going to be someone who's wide asleep. So it's never going to be perfect. That's why Pro Mazda does such a good job. They shuffle the broadcast times around, try to get everybody involved. They think about everyone, even the slow drivers. No offense to them, but they are, and they still think about them. They're still wide contributors. Jimlewitz, easy pass here on Wayne Whiting. Not even troubled is Aurelian Jimlewitz. Inside line, no defending. Just don't make a mistake through here. And not bad. Pushed a little bit deep into the first apex and then hit the rest. So good stuff from Aurelian Jimlewitz. Into your top 5. Behind this battle, it's Russ Addy in 7th. Cobus Murray in 8th. Matthew Vincenti in 9th. Rounding out the top 10 will be John Kern. Rest of the field is David Endelo, Ryan Moore, Andrew Pajosa, who's dropped down a couple of spots, Jim Brewster, and of course that is your 14 cars remaining in this race. Daniel Fletcher retired from the lead. Goodness gracious. And Jim Day did not take to the start of the race. Still plenty of laps to go. We're not even halfway through, boys. So it looks like Joshua Jablonowski is now into P4 again. Something's got up here. Joshua Jablonowski's lost another position. It may have happened, I believe, at turn 8, the same corner that your leader Daniel Fletcher retired from this event. Joshua Jablonowski. That's where the track position change was. Hopefully we see a replay of that soon, but he pushed a little bit deep, I assume. Look at them both pushing wide here. Let's carry on board with this, hopefully. Joshua Jablonowski. Here we ride on board with him. Defensive is Everett Paddock. That's actually smart. You remove the draft option for Joshua Jablonowski. Now he has to tuck into the back of that number 3 car. The no-way pass. That's actually a very smart move from Everett Paddock, and that's what the experienced Pro Mazda drivers will do. They know their stuff. They've done their homework. The scouting report, it's all there. They've covered it. There's that number 13 of Wayne Whiting. Brilliant livery, John Player Lotus. Well, actually, I'm not supposed to say that, but it is. All right, let's not sugarcoat things. The pseudo Lotus livery. It actually looks like, I can't remember what game it was years ago. These string men. I don't know if it was Super Smash Brothers or something, but it actually looks a little bit like that. Back of the pack here, John Kern, David Endelo. Who's going to get out in front over here? They rise over the top of the hill. Is this going to be close? I'm not unsure from that camera angle. Yeah, David Dendler pulls off a move and straight past. So he definitely caught the draft up the hill. I knew David had a great run out of turn 7, the toe. And I thought he could pull off a move into turn 8. So not the rarest place to see overtakes, but it's not impossible either. Replay of that coming up. There's David Dendler, too easy. You can see the front wing damage too. That was from his crash on lap 1 when he just went straight off the racetrack. He's still making his way up through the field. Now into P10. Next on his list will be Matthew Vincenti, and that will be his teammate. Will team orders come into play? Will they communicate with each other and let one or the other through? Russ Addy in P7, close behind Wayne Whiting again. Russ Addy there on the left-hand side of the screen. Continuing away. This is going to be a braking battle into the inner loop. Russ Addy. Too easy, my man. Way too easy. That orange number 11 Pro Mazda is now up into the 6th position after starting 10th. It's one of your highest movers throughout the field. Matthew Vincenti is another. Those are your 2 highest movers and shakers. Here they rise over that little undulating hill between turn 7 and 8. Love this corner, the boot at turn 8. The problem with this corner is the exit. It's so unsatisfying when you hit the apex. There we go behind. Right on board with Cobus Marie. The Australian now. One of the coolest names I've ever heard, by the way. Cobus Marie. That's just, you know, I don't know, whatever. He goes through the final corner. And no, he doesn't. He makes a mockery of that final corner. He must know he's on board. He's probably getting nervous or something because, hey, that wasn't good. He started 9th, Cobus Marine. I feel a little bit bad for him because he's been 9th all race. He's passed a couple of drivers, fell back in the 9th position. I think once David Dendler comes up, he'll actually shuffle him down to the 10th position. Cobus Marie here. See, he's not as smooth as the leading drivers through these corners. He's just taking an extra. He might be driving through that section and people don't notice it. Maybe an extra 10 meters of racetrack. He's just not as smooth. He's not as close to the lines as he should be. That could be the difference, you know, that small difference in lap time. It's a bit scruffy at the moment, but hey, you're all going to start somewhere and you improve the more you practice. Cobus Marie's having a great, solid race at the moment. Oh, Joshua Jablonowski spun. What's happened here? And what corner is that at? That's at turn 6, the chute, surely. Joshua Jablonowski, yeah, here's the chute at turn 6. Oh, he lost it all on his own. Oh, he tried to save it. Did he hit the wall? No. Okay, so right side you'll see. Rejoins the racetrack, I hope, nicely. So let's have a look here. It goes through turn 6. It's a very easy corner to lose the rear end. Yeah, just offline. No grip there on the outside. And, of course, just lost it. So the corner that you'll lose the rear end quite easily, as you say. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you rejoin the racetrack. Do not drive onto the racing line when there are cars coming. Use your relative time on the timing screens. Make sure you find the gap. Now, Joshua Jablonowski is in P9. Cobus Marie's gained a position. Now, we talked about that earlier. May lose this one, though, shortly. Look at this. The number 11 of Russ Addy close to Aurelian Jim Lewitz. What an exit from Russ Addy. Riding on board with him. Into the 6th gear. Love those onboard graphics. Engines revving, everything unscathed. They are still alongside each other right now. Who's going to lead the braking battle? Now Russ Addy climbs ahead into the inner loop braking zone. And that means Aurelian Jim Lewitz demoted to P5 unless he can pull off an under or a switch back here. No, he can't. Down to P5 he is. Wayne Whiting now ever close. Oh, goodness. Wayne Whiting quite aggressive. Turn 6. Very hard to pull off a move here into the toe. Wayne Whiting, yeah, may have taken too early of an apex there. There's basically 2 apexes at turn 7. You're going to hit the first. It's a little bit wide. The second apex will be slightly tighter. Don't want to go too tight on that first apex. Here they go through turn 8. Again, the unsatisfying exit where you just can't run the car wide, and then the uphill braking zone of turn 9. A lot of trail braking required at this circuit. It's required because it's the only way to be quick, really. And then through the final couple of corners. This is the corners NASCAR use, of course. They do not use that brute course layout. And then the final corner. Don't run too wide. You'll hit the wall on the outside. Across the start-finish line. Lap 11 of 16. We are coming close to the end of this event. Joshua Jablonowski behind is close too. Trying to pick off all these drivers one by one after a spin earlier on. Joshua Jablonowski, where's Vincenti going to force him? To the outside. Too much room, boys. Get a bit closer than that. Come on. Oh, look at that. Even worse. And Matthew Vincenti slots himself behind. So Joshua Jablonowski, the road to recovery, P7 at this point in time. That battle for P4, though. Oh, yes. Russ Addy, Aurelian Jimlowitz, Wayne Whiting. This is the one to watch. Get your popcorn ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a thrilling end to the finish for P4. And who knows, could be a battle for the final podium positions. Just depends if you don't want to see anyone in the top 3 have mechanical errors or driving errors or anything like we saw with Daniel Fletcher, but you never know. Sometimes this could be a race for the win. Thomas Jordan, though, up in front. He still leads this race, if you're wondering, with 5 laps to go. Samuel Clark, of course, in P2. Everett Paddock in 3rd. That's your top 3. Then we look at this battle here. It's Russ Addy, Aurelian Jimlowitz, and Wayne Whiting. And then your top 6. Joshua Jablonowski, only 3 seconds behind, so he's still pretty close. Once these drivers start fighting, you can see Joshua Jablonowski on screen. Once they start battling a little bit more, Joshua Jablonowski has a shot here for probably at best a P4 finish. Don't count that out for Joshua Jablonowski. Matthew Vincenti behind in 8th. David Endler in 9th. Cobus Marie rounds out the top 10. Rest of the field, it is John Kern, Ryan Moore, Andrew Bajoso, Jim Brewster. Your 14-car field. Daniel Fletcher out of the event, one of the retirements today. Jim Day, a DNS, did not start for him. Something gone wrong for Jim Day. Not having a good Jim Day. I thought that sounded better before I said it. It didn't. Here we go. Turn 6, the chute. Whiting close to Jimlowitz. Jimlowitz is way too wide. Yeah, he's way too wide there. You saw Whiting just pop up on screen out of nowhere on the bottom side. Oh, man. To the next corner. Come on, boys, push. Turn 9. You don't want to touch that inside curve, by the way, at turn 9, especially in open wheelers. It is not friendly. Neither is this curve. Outside curve here, though, is pretty good. And then again, you don't want to touch the inside curve here, but the outside curve, roll a couple of wheels on there. You love the sound of this that you hear. And then you continue. Into turn 1. The illustrious turn 1 at Watkins Glen. The infamous turn 1 at Watkins Glen. Remember, I had a Grand Prix Series race here once, and there was like 12 cars out of the race at turn 1. Out of, I don't know, like 20. I don't know how many cars were racing. God, that was ridiculous. So Wayne Whiting, had a move there, and for some reason, just butchered it going up through the S's. And he lost his run all the way down to here. But Aurelian Jimlowitz looks quick. 3/10 behind Russ Addy for P4. Oh, Andrew Bojoso's in the pit lane. I can see his car right now. It is, oh God, on screen. That looks even worse. The man from Ohio has fell into troubles. Oh, is that the final corner? So let's have a look at this. So here he is through turn 10, then the final corner, turn 11 now. Oh, he clipped the inside apex, hits the wall. Wow. Oh, goodness. And then the rear end there got damaged, of course. And that is the day done for the cyan livery of Andrew Bojoso. That's a retirement for sure. You're not going to get that repaired in time. And just managed to find his way to the pit lane. Oh, just secretly. You need some Pink Panther music as he's driving into the pit lane. Back to this battle for P4. Nothing going on here, but the drivers have started to split up even more now. Seems this race is in Thomas Jordan's hands. Made his way past Samuel Clark early on. And had a brilliant event. See the gaps at the bottom of the screen, of course, too. So yeah, we know Thomas Jordan, Samuel Clark, they are your top. We know a little bit of a scrap, you could say. Everett Paddock unscathed at P3. Russ Addy, not all on his own. He is under attack from Aurelian Jimlowitz there, heading into the inner loop. You can see the number 4 of Aurelian in that P5 position. Riding on board with him now, still in the 5th gear through this corner. You're going to use your high gears a lot through these corners. Get that right click out of the way. And now you come through you come through turn 7. Now here's where you start to go a little bit slower. Jimlowitz smooth on his throttle inputs. 3rd gear through that corner, and it'll be 3rd gear again through turn 8 for Aurelian. Much slower, but you can carry the speed through the apex there. Through turn 9, again down to 3rd gear. So all these 3rd gear corners make it a lot easier to drive this circuit at Watkins Glen. Jimlowitz has a run here. 300 meters from the start finish line down to turn 1, but no move possible for Aurelian. Cobus Marie, though, he's down to the 10th position. He's lost another spot. Matthew Vincenti passed. David Dendelo's also been passed as well, the 2 teammates. David Dendelo's also gone past his teammate, of course. And have a look at this now. Finally, Jimlowitz for P4 on Russ Addy. Wayne Whiting could also make this a double whammy for Russ Addy heading into the inner loop. No room for Wayne Whiting, though. And loses all momentum, doesn't he? And look who is behind in this fight. Joshua Jablonowski. A couple of laps remain. This is the penultimate lap so far. Replay on the screen. Easy move for Aurelian Jimlowitz. And Wayne Whiting had a shot there, I reckon, if he was brave enough. Possibly could have made his way through, but rationally thought, nah, there's more of a chance I'll crash. But Joshua Jablonowski here, we ride on board with him. The American has a shot, at least here at P6. If he can pick off Wayne Whiting early, he'll have a shot at P4 later on the final lap. Down the inside at turn 8, don't make contact. Wow. Wow. Just brilliant from Wayne Whiting around the outside. That could have cost Joshua Jablonowski a shot at P4, really. Final lap for Thomas Jordan as he takes to the line. These drivers still completing their penultimate lap of the event. Jablonowski, oh, so close, and then so close to the wall. I thought he clipped it there. He was ultra close, wasn't he? Russ Addy, close to reclaim P4. Joshua Jablonowski, close to a top 6 position. Wayne Whiting urgently needs to defend. But both these drivers of Jimlowitz and Whiting are in no man's land. They may be a sitting duck across this straight. Defensive goes Jimlowitz. Russ Addy around the outside. He's going to have to make this move around the outside into the inner loop. Jablonowski has the inside line heading into the inner loop. Into the braking zone. No move for Russ Addy, but Joshua Jablonowski into the 6th position. still continuing with this fight. Thomas Jordan still at turn 7, so plenty of time left for Thomas Jordan in this race. There he is. He's still hounded by Samuel Clark. It's 1 second the gap between those two. So that race certainly isn't over. Thomas Jordan slowing down on this final lap. He may just be taking it easy, of course. Russ Addy now through the straight between turns 7 and 8. Can he pull off a move? He's going to have to dive bomb. Jim Lewis hard around the outside. Oh, it's close, isn't it? We'll continue. Thomas Jordan, though, final corner for him. Here he comes now, and he will be Vic for Season 3, Week 5 of the Pro Mazda Championship. What a victory by Thomas Jordan. And that's what we like to see from him. This is the real Thomas Jordan on victory lane. We're still racing, though, here with Joshua Jablonowski. He makes it into P5 towards the end. And that will put half a smile on his face. The recovery drive from Joshua Jablonowski. 2 positions made on that final lap. And he will be lamenting that spin. He had pace there for at least a podium position. But regardless, a brilliant recovery drive. It's all about this man, Thomas Jordan. The Australian driving an incredible race. Picked off the moves. He earned that as well. He started this race from P3. Here are your final race results on screen. And all Australian 1-2. Thomas Jordan wins by less than a second ahead of Samuel Clark. That wasn't as close as it seems there on the timing screens. I think Jordan just took it easy on the final lap, of course. Started from 3rd, Thomas Jordan, don't forget. Was not on the front row in qualifying for this race. Everett Paddock was in 3rd, another podium position, relatively unscathed after all the calamity in those opening laps. Aurelian Jim Lewis just maintained 4th position ahead of Joshua Jablonowski. Jablonowski needed 1 more lap, and he probably would have made his way past, of course. He came home in P5, Joshua. Then we had the American of Russ Addy in the 6th position. Wayne Whiting, unfortunately, towards the end. That's how close this battle was. He could have been 4th, ended up finishing 7th. And then behind him was David Dendelo in P8 there. Matthew Vincenti in 9th. The 2 teammates not having the best of events for Pro Mazda this season. Cobus Marie came home in the 10th position, dropped 1 from his starting spot. We cycled down the order. John Kern and Ryan Moore in the 11th and 12th positions. Jim Brewster in 13th. Then, of course, Andrew Pajoso crashed at the final corner, and that car was done and dusted. Daniel Fletcher, engine troubles from the lead. He should have been victor for this race, but of course, it all went wrong for him in the downhill braking zone of turn 8. Over aggressive was he. And then finally, Jim Day did not take to the start of the race, so he is not classified in your race results. That's it for Pro Mazda action for Week 5 from Watkins Glen, the Season 3 of 2018. The Pro Mazda Championship, we will be traveling to Road Atlanta for 22 laps of racing action next week, Week 6, Season 3 of 2018. Our next broadcasted race on RaceSpotTV will be Week 7 from the Circuit de Villeneuve on Saturday, the 28th of July. That will be at 9:45 a.m. GMT. And then after that, we'll also have Week 9 from Belle Isle, the beautiful Belle Isle, on Saturday, the 11th of August. That will be at 9:45 p.m. GMT. Don't get those 2 races mixed up. Thank you to all you viewers for joining us for today's broadcast. I'm Jonathan Simon, as you saw on screen right there. Hugo Luis in production. Thank you to Istvan Battle, Andreas Werner, Simon Grossman, and Nick Thiessen for all their hard work behind the scenes. This has been a RaceSpotTV presentation broadcasted on iRacing Live. We'll say so long from the illustrious, the Hall of Fame worthy Watkins Glen.